This question is asking us to prepare a cost of goods sold and a cost of goods manufactured. Before we can determine the cost of goods sold, we must calculate the cost of goods manufactured. We're going to take the beginning work in process. We'll add to that those costs associated with the product costs, which are our direct materials, direct labor, and our factory overhead. I've clipped from the textbook the format of that financial statement. So I'm going to go ahead and write this information in from the information given. And of course, when you do this problem, the numbers will be different, but the methodology will be the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my beginning work in process inventory. And the beginning work in process inventory is $27,000, so I'd put 27,000 here. I'm going to add to that, I have to figure out my beginning materials inventory, and in this case, do they give me a beginning inventory? Let's read. Cost of direct materials, direct labor, factory overhead, work in process inventory, and we have finished goods, work in process inventory at the end. Well, but it doesn't have a any materials, so it's just going to be the materials purchased. So we'll jump down here, and I'm going to add my direct labor cost in here. The direct labor is $56,000. And my factory overhead is 20,000. We can see that here. So I'll add 20,000. Okay. And the cost of the direct materials used during production, 41,000. So they're just giving us this number here. They didn't give us anything in there. They're just giving it to us. So they're kind of shortening the work for us a little bit. So the next thing I'll need to do is to add those numbers together. I'm going to add the cost of my materials, 41,000. I'm going to add the 56,000 in direct labor and the 20,000 in factory overhead. That equals $117,000 for a cost incurred for manufacturing. I'll write that in. I will add that to my beginning work in process, so 27,000. So I have 144,000, which is the total manufacturing cost of 144,000. Next, I'm going to subtract my ending inventory of work in process. And that amount, my work in process at the end of the month, is $30,000. So we'll be subtracting 30,000. And that looks like I would have $114,000 for my cost of goods manufactured. I'll use an acronym there. So I get $114,000 for my cost of goods manufactured. Next, we need to determine what the cost of goods sold were. So we're going to take the beginning inventory of finished goods. That's my finished goods beginning inventory, which is $28,000. I will add the cost of goods manufactured of $114,000. So that's the total cost of goods available for sale. Looks like $142,000. And believe me, if I make a mistake, this is a live lecture. If I make a mistake, correct me. Then I'm going to subtract my finished goods in inventory, which is 20,000. So my ending inventory is 20,000. I'll subtract that, and I get 122,000 for my cost of goods sold.